After 10 years, Bleach came back, and it didn't hold back. Thousand-Year Blood War Part 1 opens with genocide, turns into a massacre, and ends with the death of legends. The Quincy have returned, Yhwach is rewriting reality, and Soul Society is on the verge of collapse. This isn't the Bleach you remember, it's something far more brutal, and we're breaking it all down.
We're going to purge you from the world.
Soul Reapers, Ryunosuke Yuki and Shino Madarame arrive Karakura town following the mass disappearances of Hollows from the human world. They are ambushed by Hollows, but rescued by Ichigo Kurosaki, Orihime Inoue, Yasutora Chad Sato, and Uryu Ishida. 2 days later, Ichigo meets Asguiaro Ebern, a member of the Vandenreich. Ebern attempts to use a Quincy medallion and seal Ichigo's Bankai, but he destroys it and makes him retreat. At the same time, a group of individuals representing the enemy faction called the Vandenreich, the Quincy Empire, infiltrate head captain Genryusai Shigekuni Yamamoto's office in the Soul Society and deliver a fatally wounded Lieutenant Chojiro Sasakibe as an example for the impending fate of the Soul Reapers. Meanwhile, 11th Squad members Ikaku Madarame and Yumichika Ayasagawa investigate the disappearances of thousands of civilians from the Rukon district. At the Vandenreich's base, Silburn, Ebern reports to Yhwach, the Quincy king. Nelil II Odelschwank and Pesha Guatiche go to the human world and inform Ichigo that Hueco Mundo has been invaded by the Vandenreich after its leader Tyr Haribel, the former Third Espada, was defeated by Yhwach. The Arrancars of Hueco Mundo have either joined the Quincy's, captured or killed. Kisuke Urahara, Ichigo, Orihime, Chad, Nell, and Peshe arrive to Hueco Mundo. Meanwhile, the Vandenreich's hunting captain of the 1st Jagdarmi, Stern Ritter J. Quilga Opie, tests the Arrancars to see who will join them. Loli and Manoli attempt to take an upper hand, but are dispatched easily. Tres Bestias, Emilu Apache, Francesca Mila Rose, and Cyan Sung Sun arrive for support, but are overwhelmed by Quilge. Ichigo confronts Quilge. The Tres Bestias summon Ion and rejoin the fight against Quilge. Uryu learns the truth of the conflict between Soul Reapers and Quincy's centuries ago. It is revealed that 12th Division Captain Mayuri Kurotsuchi ordered his division to expunge all civilians from the Rukon district in order to rectify the soul imbalance caused by the Quincy's exterminating Hollows in the living world. It is revealed that Yamamoto fought Yhwach 1,000 years ago. Quilge absorbs reishi in the area, including from Ion, and overpowers the Tres Bestias, but clashes with Ichigo once again when he activates his Bankai. When the Quincy's begin the invasion of the Soul Society, Stern Ritter H. Baz B. critically wounds Squad 3 Lieutenant Izuru Kira and kills 3 other Soul Reapers. Over 1,000 Soul Reapers die within 7 minutes of the Quincy's invasion. 3rd Division Captain Rojuro Rose Otoribashi meets Stern Ritter Yu Nanana Najakup, 6th Division Captain Byakuya Kuchiki, and Lieutenant Renji Abarai face off against Stern Ritter F. S. Nut and Stern Ritter S. Mask de Masculine, and 7th Division Captain Sajin Komamura on Stern Ritter E. Bambietta Basterbine. As the fighting reaches a stalemate, the 2nd Division Captain Soifan, Byakuya, Komamura, and 10th Division Captain Toshiro Hitsugaya release their Bankais. But they are stolen by their opponent, Stern Ritters, using absorbing medallions. The captains are shocked of the news that the Stern Ritter's trump card is to steal Bankai, as it is communicated to the rest of the Soul Society. While Quilga fights against Ichigo, Urahara observes that the Stern Ritters failed to steal Ichigo's Bankai. Urahara opens the portal for Ichigo to enter there and join the fight. However, Quilge attacks Urahara, Orihime, and Chad and uses his Stern Ritter ability, the Jail, to trap Ichigo in the Garganta and prevent him from reaching the Soul Society. Ichigo hears the voices of many Soul Reapers while desperately escaping from Quilga's jail. Before Quilga can kill Urarara and the others, he is ambushed and killed by an unseen assailant. Byakuya and Renji engage Esnut in battle. Byakuya is unnerved by S, who awakened his fears with reishi thorns. Byakuya attempts to overcome his fear, but Ez overwhelms him with his own Bankai. Rukia and Renji are wounded by other Stern Ritters, Kenpachi Zaraki, having killed 3 of them, Stern Ritter R, Jerome Guizbot, Stern Ritter Q, Berenice Gabrielli, and Stern Ritter Y Lloyd, confronts Yhwach and his right-hand man, Jugram Hashwalth. Yamamoto saves 9th Division Lieutenant Shuhei Hisagi from Stern Ritter O, Driscoll Bertzi. He reveals that he killed Sasaki Bay and stole his Bankai, Koko Gonryo Rikyu, with which he attacks Yamamoto. This reminds Yamamoto that he taught Sasaki Bay 2,000 years ago. The enraged Yamamoto kills Driscoll, saves Kenpachi from Yhwach, and inspires the Soul Reapers to keep fighting. Yamamoto engages Yhwach in battle at the Seirete. When Yhwach moves away, Yamamoto activates his Bankai, Zanka no Tachi, which causes water to evaporate from the whole area. 4th Division Captain Retsu Unohana and her Lieutenant Isan Kotetsu are worried that if the battle goes on for too long, Yamamoto could destroy even the Soul Society. Yhwach is powerless against the various abilities of Zanka no Tachi, and Yamamoto boasts that his Bankai is too strong to be stolen. Yamamoto unknowingly defeats a fake replica, and the real Yhwach arrives and identifies him as the second half of the Lloyd twins, Stern Ritter Y, Royd Lloyd. Yhwach destroys the Division 1 barracks and kills Royd for his failure. Yhwach reveals he had visited Sosuke Aizen in his underground prison. Considered by the Wandenreich to be one of the 5 special war powers, Yhwach convinced Aizen to join him, but he refused. Yamamoto attempts to use his Bankai again, but Yhwach steals it, being the only one to take it more enough, and kills Yamamoto. 1,000 years ago, the original 13 court guard squads consisted of ruthless and barbaric killers with selfish purpose, partook in killing the Wandenreich, and Yamamoto and Sasakibe defeated Yhwach. Afterwards, Yamamoto adopted a peaceful philosophy and formed a unified court guard system. Back in the present day, Yhwach destroys Yamamoto's remains. Ichigo breaks free and initiatively returns to the Soul Society for help. He trades blows with Yhwach, but is quickly defeated. Yhwach attempts to kill Ichigo, but is countered by him awakening a defensive Quincy technique called Blut Vein. Yhwach reveals Quilga's jail can only be broken by a Quincy, but Ichigo does not know the truth about himself or his mother, Masaki. Shadow portals appear to transport the Quincy back to Silburn, and Yhwach realizes that Aizen used his Shikai ability on him to lose track of time. Ichigo tries to charge at Yhwach, but his Zanpakuto is destroyed by Hashwalth. Yhwach departs cryptically, referring to the stunned Ichigo as his son born in the dark. After the invasion, Rukia, Renji, and Kenpachi are treated by Division 4, along with the surviving Soul Reapers, as Byakuya barely clings to life. Mayuri tells Ichigo that as his Zanpakuto was destroyed while in Bankai state, it cannot be fixed. The captains mourn Yamamoto. Ichigo and the captains meet with Squad 0, consisting of 5 most elite former captains who protect the Soul King in the Royal Palace. Ichigo and the captains talk to Urahara, Orihime, and Chad, who were saved from Quilga by a concealed Grimjow Jaeger Jaquez. Kukaku Shiba sends Ichigo, Byakuya, Renji, Rukia, and Squad 0 to the Royal Palace above the Seirete, where Zangetsu could be reforged. At the Royal Palace, Ichigo, Rukia, Renji, and Byakuya are being healed by Tenjiro Kurenji, a member of Squad 0 and the one who taught Unohana healing techniques. The Soul King is seen awakening. Ichigo and Renji are healed completely by Kurenji. They move up to Kiryo Hikifune's palace, where she feeds them with ancient Soul Society dishes containing strong spiritual pressure, before being sent up to Uetsu Nemaya's palace, the man creating all Zanpakuto. Meanwhile, Captain Shunsui Kyoraku is appointed to be a head captain. His assistant Nanao Ise and Yamamoto's previous third-seat lieutenant Genshiro Okikiba have joined the 1st Division. He decrees that Kenpachi is to be taught Zanjutsu, an all-style encompassing swordsmanship by 4th Division Captain Unohana, who reveals herself a criminal for the history of the Soul Society and the founder of the 11th Division and the 1st Kenpachi, her real name being Yachiru Unohana. Unohana and Kenpachi fight at the underground prison, Muken. Kenpachi recalls how he used to admire Unohana from their first meeting on, when he scarred her chest. Unohana states that he has become far weaker from then, and she will push him to the brink of death and revive him repeatedly to unlock his full potential. Hundreds of years ago, Unohana has grown bored of killing bandits in the hopes of finding a worthy opponent, until a vicious child, Kenpachi, attacks her. Unohana is overpowered, so Kenpachi subconsciously begins to hold himself back, which ends in his defeat. Back in the present day, Unohana wounds Kenpachi hundreds of times, as he grows stronger each time he resurrects. She unleashes her Bankai, Minazuki, which allows her to extend her blade with acidic slashes resembling blood. Kenpachi has grown strong enough to power through and kill her. As he grieves Unohana, he finally gets to speak with his Zanpakuto and forge a bond. Meanwhile, Ichigo, Renji, and Kon arrive in Nemaya's palace, Huden, where they meet countless Zanpakuto spirits and the unconventional captain himself. Nemaya teaches them about the basics of how Soul Reapers receive Zanpakuto in their base form, called Asauchi. Nemaya sends the two down into a hole filled with countless Asauchi and leaves them there for 3 days to fight them. Renji returns victorious from obtaining his partner, but Ichigo fails the test, unceremoniously being sent back to the human world and citing that he must return to his roots, since he did not go through the training. Nemaya tells Renji that he created every single Zanpakuto for the last several thousand years, including Kenpachi's, which he actually stole off from a Soul Reaper's dead body, adding that Ichigo's was not an Asauchi made by him. Ichigo visits Ikumi Unagiya, but Ishin arrives in his Soul Reaper attire to take Ichigo away, though Ichigo unknowingly leaves his badge behind. Ishin tells Ichigo about the history of their family, while to Ichigo that his mother was a Quincy. Nearly 20 years ago, when Ishin Shiba was still captain of Division 10, a series of mysterious Soul Reaper deaths began occurring in Naraki City. Ishin investigates there, which turned out to be an immensely powerful and intelligent Hollow, clad in black armor named White. Elsewhere, Masaki, an Quincy noble who was taken in by Soken's family after her demise, sensed the spiritual pressure released by the Hollow and Ishin and headed off to help, despite Ryuken and the lower-ranked Gemished Quincy family maid Kanai Katagiri attempting to dissuade her. While fighting the Hollow, Ishin attempted to use his Bankai but was slashed in the back by the creators of this Hollow, Aizen, Gin Ichimaru, and Kaname Tosen. Masaki arrived and saved Ishin, while Aizen stopped Tosen from killing her, due to finding her intriguing. Masaki used herself as bait to draw the Hollow close and kill it in one blow. Masaki healed Ishin, while also revealing herself to be a Quincy. Initially fearing his reaction, she rejoiced when Ishin gladly declared that he was happy to have met a living Quincy. Back in the present day, Haschwalth meets Uryu. Continuing his story to Ichigo, Ishin reported back to Yamamoto about the mission, but left out Masaki from his report. Feeling drawn to her, he returned to the human world on patrol. Since the attack of the White Hollow, Masaki has started to feel dazed and pulled down into the darkness by the Hollow Soul, which merged with her. As she was berated by Ryuken's mother for helping a Soul Reaper, she collapsed and a hollow hole appeared on her chest. Ryuken accompanies Masaki for help, running into Ishin and blaming Ishin for Masaki's condition. Urahara, who has briefly met with Masaki before, then stepped into their conflict and told them that he knows of a way to help her. Due to her being an extremely powerful ect, Quincy merged with a Hollow, the solution for her cure would be different than for a Soul Reaper merged with one. To balance her soul out with the Hollows in her, the entirety of a Soul Reaper's power is needed to combat it for her entire life. Isshin volunteered, and Unohana provided him with a specially created Gigai that can completely contain a Soul Reaper soul and turn them into a human. Afterwards, the two settled down together and fell in love, while Ryukin married Katagiri. Isshin tells Ichigo that the reason Masaki died fighting Grand Fisher and Katagiri died from her illness was because, according to ancient Quincy texts, Yhwach used the Auswählen that stripped several of his people of their powers to regain his own 9 years ago, deeming them impure. Before leaving, Ichigo retrieves the badge from Ikumi. Ryukin finds evidence of Uryu meeting with the stern Ritters. One of Namaya's Zanpakuto bodyguards sends Ichigo back to the royal palace and has him continue training there. When all of the Asauchi kneel to Ichigo, he chooses the correct one, the white hollow inside him. Back at the Soul Society, the captains and lieutenants begin training. Hitsugaya returns to the Soul Reaper training grounds to hone his sword-wielding skills. Akon returns to the Division 12 barracks after his wounds have been treated and learns that Mayurai and Lieutenant Nemu have locked themselves in the lab for more than a day now and are in the process of creating something. Captain Komamura returns to his clan's hideout and tries to convince the clan elder to teach him a secret clan technique. Meanwhile, Namaya's bodyguards prepare the forge and he begins rebuilding Ichigo's Zanpakuto, while also telling him that Old Man Zangetsu is not his Zanpakuto. The hollow white in him was his Zanpakuto all along, and that Old Man Zangetsu was actually the source of Ichigo's latent Quincy powers. Ichigo speaks to Old Man Zangetsu again, who expresses pride in how strong Ichigo has become since he chose the path of a Soul Reaper. Old Man Zangetsu says farewell to Ichigo and relinquishes his hold on his powers, allowing him to finally access his true Zanpakuto, the dual-bladed Shikai True Zangetsu. Sensing both White and Old Man Zangetsu in the long and short blades respectively, Ichigo thanks Zangetsu and says that he is himself. In Silburn, Yhwach meets with Haschwalth, who has brought Uryu along, donned in stern Ritter attire.